are now past the first 7 days in 2019. And I don't know how 2018 went for you, but it was a year that went by extremely quickly for me. I also don't know how well you guys can hear me. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Today I'm going to talk about and just kind of share what's really going on. This is not a scripted episode or video, but it's one that was on my heart to share and process through. And that is about finding balance while remaining true to who you are, but also having discipline with growing in the areas that you need to grow in. I'm a believer of playing to your strengths, but I also realize that there are areas that we could grow in, that we are weak in, that I don't believe you should completely ignore. Now, some people will overemphasize developing in their weakness and putting all of their energy into growing in their strengthening weaknesses, that they neglect where they shine. They don't even pay attention to where they shine. So there's this sweet balance. But here's what I'm going through, to be completely transparent and honest with all of you guys. I am about to release a program, and we're in the midst of internally on the back end preparing for a really big product launch. And up until now, I've really thrived with relationship, a very deep personal connection with people. I'm really big in just showing up as you are and knowing that somebody's going to be there that needs your gifts, that needs what you have to offer. I've created even a program called Soul to Soul Marketing about that, about just really showing up and being deeply connected to who you're called to serve and show up for, and finding how it just really unfolds and how you continue to connect with those people. A very, very simple approach. However, I know that this is the year of expansion and increase for me, and that for things to really scale and grow in my business at levels that I've never seen before, I have to do what I've never done before, right? And that is stepping outside of what I know to do and taking on some things that are a little bit different, like Facebook ads, and maybe doing a little bit more of the technical stuff that I'm not the biggest fan of. I don't really love spending all my time behind the scenes, not relationally interacting, which is why I just had to give my soul a break from all of the work to share and outpour. I'm a relational person. I relationally interact, and I'm going to honor that. At the same time, there are seasons or little, maybe, for 8 weeks or something, or 4 weeks, where if you're going to do a launch and scale your business at a level that you've never had it scale before, it does require you to do a little bit differently. If I could just, talk to every single person, I would love that. I'm such a people-oriented person. I'm so relational that I really thrive in the networking and the external work of connecting with people and doing lives and doing videos, and that's not a problem for me. What I struggle with is the technical side of things and the writing posts and all of that. Unless I'm so inspired to write something, I will write it. But sometimes when you have a deadline and you've got calendars and you've got a whole launch sequence you're planning, it feels less inspiring and more like it can feel restrictive. And sometimes it cuts off my creative flow and creative best and creative energy when it feels so confined. So I'm kind of in this tension of, I know I need the structure. I know I need the deadlines. The deadlines help get it done. Otherwise, I'm just going to be like, you know, not really taking things where they could go. If I continue to give into spontaneity and impulse too much. Now, I need to give room for that spontaneity. I need to give room for doing what I want when I want. Otherwise, the structure and the order and the system is going to feel so restrictive. I'm going to rebel and shut down. So some of you may be able to relate. Some of you guys are more, excuse me, my nose. Some of you guys are more structured and order and systems, and you love your routine and your processes. And perhaps you've gotten feedback of letting go a little bit, being more spontaneous, not as rigid, loosen up a bit, go with the flow, invite spontaneity. You can't control everything and everyone around you. And so you're honoring that, yeah, you like systems and structures, and you don't have to let that go completely. You don't have to drop it totally, but you also know where you can improve, which is to lighten up a bit, loosen up a bit, let things go a little bit more. And then on the other spectrum, which is where I am a little bit too spontaneous. I like things, you know, without structure and all of this order in place. I like to do what I want when I want, and it gets you somewhere and it works for you until it doesn't work for you, right? So for me, in order to really scale and take things off, I needed to balance and have introduced that structure and that system and that order. And what I do is have short systems, short bursts of focus, and then allow myself to have that room to go for a walk or to jump on and do a live when I know I need the break, you know, while I'm still developing discipline and growing in discipline where I need to. And what I'm finding is that it's short, it's doing something I don't really want to do, that's not really sexy to me, but I'm also like, wow, I'm so grateful I did that, because now it's over, and then I can reuse that over and over and over again until it comes time to update or revise or start something new. So if you can think long term, keep the vision in front of you and keep the end goal in mind, you can navigate through the things you don't really want to do, that you're not the most disciplined in, and move through it to get you to the end and the other side. That's what's helped for me. I'm curious what works for you. What do you guys do to keep balance, honor who you are, recognize how you are, not overdo it in indulging in that too much, because there are areas we do need to grow, right? That could be a comfort zone, and no growth happens when we are comfy and cozy. How do you stretch yourself, develop in areas where you need to grow while honoring who you are? I'm curious, what have you learned? What tips do you have? What works for you when you're doing something that is not something you really want to do or are comfortable with? How do you balance honoring the parts of you that kind of rebel against it and the parts of you that you know, like, you need to get past it and do it anyway? All right, thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.